I've done some joint strength testing using a bottle jack on the bathroom scale, but as I pump that jack, I always have to let it go to see what the force is. So I thought something with a slowly increasing force would be better. My thinking is to have a threaded rod and a nut that's turned down on that, and that would push the threaded rod slowly up. So the nut would have to push against some kind of washer, and then the threaded rod has to slide in some sleeve just to hold it in place. And to keep that threaded rod from spinning as I turn the nut, I need something on the end to keep it from turning. And so I took a coupler nut, drilled a hole through it, and put a shaft through there, and I also cut it off. And that screws on the end like so. To turn the nut, I'm thinking of putting some kind of wooden gear around it, like this gear from my box joint jig. And I've printed out templates to make another gear of about that size and the smaller gear to drive it with. I designed these gears with my gear generator program, and they're designed to mesh perfectly when they're both on the same plane. But I want to mesh them at a 90-degree angle, and that's a bit of a kludge, and it generally works better if you bevel the sides of the teeth by about the same amount that the complementing gear has a pressure angle of. I just tilted my bandsaw by 14 degrees, and I put this on here, and I cut just a little bit into it, and that will prevent tear out on the bottom of the gear. I cut the angle on one side of the teeth, and to do the other side I need to tilt the bandsaw the other way, which of course it doesn't, so I rigged this up to get the other tilt. With the sides of the teeth beveled like that, they end up very skinny on the back. But that does leave a lot of slack, so these will never jam. And what I should have done is to fatten the teeth a little bit in the design so that I get a snug fit and stronger teeth. With the big gear on the nuts, I now need a way to hold the little gear on here, and for that I've put the bushing in a block of wood, and so that's going to go on here like so, and then a block of wood against here with a shaft through there, and then the gear on here. I drilled an undersized hole in the gear, and I'm also going to glue this bit on here and drive the shaft through both of those. Now take the other one off, so I need to put some glue in there. And some clamps on it for good measure. While this gear is turning, it's also exerting a downward force on the big gear, and to support that gear against that, I figure I should put a bearing embedded in here like so. Now I need something on the bottom to keep this thing from turning, and I came up with two blocks like this that I'm going to attach here, and that will also guide the end of the threaded rod by the nut here. My plan is to spin this here with a hand drill, but I don't want to have to chuck one on here every time because it's heavy and it affects the tests. So I'm thinking of just mounting this bar on here and then having this thing to spin this at a distance with a drill. Oops, too tight. Okay, time to give this a try. I have it on a bathroom scale and it's on dowel so I can roll back and forth so I get no sideways force. I'm going to apply this force 20 centimeters from the joint and check this out. Pocket holes. So that failed with 65 pounds, just 20 centimeters from the joint. So next I should try it with some real joinery.